Hey guys, Tim out here. I wanted to go through a quick breakdown of a ranked gold 5 match I had done. I'm going to go through certain things that you don't know, unfortunately, because comms don't show some things that I do personally just because as a player. And then also for this specific Lancer, I chose Sonar, things that are helpful for her and how to play with that. This is more about teaching and learning. Obviously, I am not Dr. Lupo and I am not Shroud, but I'm hoping that this will be helpful for people in silver or in bronze, and including with that, anybody that plays Sonar that wants to know her a little bit better. So I'm hoping this is helpful. If you don't want a commentary version and just want to watch the match in its entirety, I have uploaded that separately. So let's go through. So I'm going to be on Team B. One of the main things I want to point out here is our shard card selection. So in rank, TikTok Clock and Medical Arrow are pretty great ones. They're also 5 shard cards, so in general, they're pretty great cards. Medical Arrow shuts down one of Pathogen's skills, which is her healing. She is the only Lancer that can heal, so that's pretty great in general. Included with that, the treasures on the map drop 3 things. They drop cards, they drop shards, and then they drop medkits. Primarily medkits. So you pretty much shut down those as well. So that's a pretty great card for them. For us, we chose TikTok Clock. TikTok Clock is great for teams that don't really use comms because what ends up happening is they rush and they're kind of all tight together. So it makes it easier for you to clear them out. Um, and funny enough, that is shown in this round specifically of how that goes. Uh, as I said before, I play Sonar. I really like Sonar. I think Corona and I think Pathogen are great too, but right now the two I like. I primarily go Site B as Sonar due to the fact that her echolocation skill can cover B main exit and B short, and so you pretty much get to check both routes. When it comes to A, I mean, I don't. Maybe this is just me. I feel like you never have a hard time covering it in ranked because people post up against the crates or they nitro or Pantheon, pathogen wallet, and it's just a shooting gallery for anybody who's hollow point. So I always feel like that one's pretty easy to keep when it comes to main. I feel like it's B that usually there's a harder time with because they either rush through mid and they go right, or they rush through mid and they end up going all the way around to B. So again, end up coming through some really great spots to put your echolocation. I was going to be right here to the left of those boxes. Um, I come up close. So the reason why is because again, it's based off range. So there is no reason why you need to stay back against B when you know a team could be coming. So you can easily push it against the right wall or the left wall, and then you cut them off. That is what I do. I push it a little bit too far back, but it slows them down. I primarily use a Molotov, so I try to cover that on my utility pistol real quick to make sure they don't push forward. I know that there's a Zephyr there, so I'm going to assume she's going to move through invisible, and then I won't know. Um, and then I also get very lucky this next part. I very easily should have died, but surprisingly, they had just as bad as aim as I did. So I barely make it out. The spider should have killed me, and the Kismet definitely should have. But still, I survive. I end up coming out real quick because my primaries unloaded, and I luckily swap into my melee. Kismet throws a bomb down, and I get away right as her bomb goes off. Um, my team comes in, and they end up starting to close out. At this point, I am freaking out because my 42 health and my non reloaded primary causes me just to use my skills. In reality, it's not helpful. I was unsure what else to do because I knew if I peeked, I would be dead because they were all there. And then by the time I would get comfortable enough to swap back out and peek, the other person on our team, Dale, already cleaned up. Then from here, we end up getting Healing Sight, Lucky Bullets, and HUD Remix. I think HUD Remix is a great card. I don't know the range, and I will admit I do rarely use it. I do feel like it is a really good card nonetheless. We end up going with Healing Sight A, which I actually forget we end up using until a little bit later. And then get Mini Mags, Weapon Morph, and Stealthy Start. I think Stealthy Start is great if you're willing to rush. They don't. So I think it makes sense why they don't choose it. They end up using Mini Mags on us, which I think is a very great card. And they have Weapon Morph. Weapon Morph isn't great unless you combine it with either the double primary card or if you're smart and you take Deagles or you take automatics and you drop those instead. A lot of people end up dropping their primary, I think, because of the picture. They don't realize that you can actually do your secondary and then use that. Um, so that's what we got. Again, I end up swapping B. That's what I can do as Sonar. I feel comfortable with that. I end up trying to face myself into the wall because I was trying to see if I could get Dino, the suppression. He was just a little bit out of it, so I couldn't. So I go and start to move over to A because B seems silent, and I know that due to Sonar's ability, the echolocation is very great at stopping rushes, and so I'm hoping that I get there in time to try and be helpful for that. And again, my team gets a quick kill. Kind of like I mentioned before, there's some great corners you can put it around on this map. And I noticed late that actually they ping it, but again, this is great. And I get very lucky with this. I actually didn't hear her. I just kind of shot it to shot it. And then I just clean up. At this point, I'm a little freaked out because I realize it's just me by myself at A. So I'm trying to just sit back and hold it some. Um, Again, I end up pushing the echolocation down to stop anyone from sneaking or pushing around me. This helps because this pushes the team's Kismet and Zephyr to our Kismet and Zephyr in the middle, um, which does end up helping later on. I try to get a quick kill in. Something that I'm still getting used to. I'm not a shooter person. I didn't play Valorant. I didn't play CS:GO. I just kind of ended up liking how this game looked and worked, and I kept playing it, and I really enjoy it. So something I'm realizing too is don't put yourself out in the open. Don't throw yourself out in the open. Don't jump out in the open. Don't peek uh, in the open. Number one thing. So what I do wrong here is that I use the crate to help me and I immediately push so far out that there is nothing blocking me. I'm very clearly shown and I die. So that's something to, like I said, make yourself aware of. I notice a lot of people end up doing that, and I know that that has kept me alive a lot of times. Funny enough, I think later on in this round, you will see that this actually saves the spider on the enemy's team because they use that against me, and I get a couple bullets off, and they just dive right into the crate. So there's nothing really I can do. The cards we got were exposure. I think sustained exposure is pretty great. They got turtleback and bigger and badder. I think those also are great cards. So as you see in the top left, a Killer Queen is placed, two of them. This actually helps out a lot because when they come around to push, one of them starts taking damage and they cut around all the way to my side. My sonar ends up showing me exactly where they are, and the spider backs off. I get a quick kill with that. Um, and then I try to hold down. I am unsure if more people are coming. If not, so I just try to peek around. In case they're stealthing, I try to shoot that out. I know that's been helpful a couple times. Um, and it has a pretty decent range, I figured out. So I end up trying to move to the side here, and this is where I get the luckiest kill I have ever got. I did not do this on purpose. I just throw this out just to throw this out. I grab my Molotov. I sit here. I'm like, cool. I know they're somewhere in this direction. I'm hoping that I'll cover the exit at the very least and hold them. So I just shoot it. And it lands perfectly on them. So what I didn't know is that my teammate was pushing them to the side, and because they had done so much damage, all three of them grouped together and they started healing. I did not know that. And so because of that, when I threw this down, they were already one weak and two so close together that one of them instantly dies. The other two start to jump away, and my teammate cleans them up, and I get their kills with that, which was amazing. Um, Two very important cards here. Again, if you are running ranked, if these show up, you need to get your team to select them, or you need to put the shard cards in for them. They have cure shot. Cure shot means that you whatever gun you have, you can shoot your teammates to heal them. Most of the time in ranked, it's an automatic weapon, which means you get fast and instant health. I have seen people use this for one person to push forward and one person to just throw bullets at them to heal them back just to get a peek. I think it's pretty great. Um, and we have Roger Roger. I think Roger Roger is a great four shard card. You either rush with five Lancers and two bots, or one bot goes A, one bot goes B, and you can still kind of split in a sense and distract. So I really like that card. I make sure that we get that. Again, I go B, nothing special here. I'm covering it down. Um, Another thing to mention that is shown in this video is Roger Roger, the bots can also just be human shields in a sense, because you can still hide behind them or push with them, and because they're bots, they'll stand perfectly still until an enemy gets close, and usually they're somewhere in the middle to in the front of the sites. I hear some shots go off. I lag a little bit, but I hear some shots go off, so I try to go over to A, see what I can do. Um, Again, here's one of the bots right here. I put the sonar ability down, and I'm getting a tick. And just as this enemy lancer comes around, exactly what I mentioned earlier saves my life. As they come around, they see me first. What they notice is now there's a bot closer to them and around the corner to shoot. So they start shooting in the middle of me. They start aiming towards the bot, and the bot actually kills them. I have never seen a bot get a kill before in this game. They are usually just cannon fodder. But in ranked, this bot got a kill. He deserves to be on the board for this. But again, I just really like him. I think it's a really helpful card, and this did end up helping me because we got a quick kill off of it. It slowed down that push that they could have got. Unfortunately, my teammate um, does go down. Um, and I thankfully don't get shot as well, but I do a quick utility pistol maul to try to hold the door. This is actually at the point when I realize they're dead. I didn't beforehand. And I try to figure out a good angle around the corner so I don't get one shotted myself. And again, I do that in case they're sneaking. Oh yeah, I just full on. I'm like, okay, if I'm gonna be here on this side, I'm gonna be here on this side, right? I gotta make sure it's fully covered. I do not want them to push through for this. Now, thankfully, in the top left corner of the mini map, you can actually see that Chief comes around, finds where the converter is, goes around a crate to hide, and gets it covered. Um, Me still camping here, not knowing, ends up hearing the gunshots and goes around, and Chief gets a quad kill for this, which was amazing. Oh, another great, oh, another great card is here. So Death's Embrace is, I feel like Death's Embrace should be a 5 shard card because it does 75 damage, it has a decent area, and it can hit multiple targets. But that's just me. I'm going to show you here. It downs, it hurts one person and kills 2 different people. Um, just in this one. And it's pretty great because, again, it's such a big and large area that the person who's going to get affected by it either goes forward and gets shot or has to run back and allows us to push forward. So, again, I think it's pretty great. They got Clone Tech and Lingering Smoke. I think Clone Tech is great, but I also, or at least right now in the gold rank, I don't really see anybody choose it. And I haven't really seen a good collection of Lancers. The only ones I can think of, probably Nitro, just because of Nitro walling. I've seen some pretty decent stuff with that, and then also because of pew pews. Just put 4 different pew pews down, put a bunch of Nitro walls. You can cover a site pretty well. You can make it annoying for somebody to rush that site. So I think that'd be good. They end up using weak jumps, which I do not know if that's a good card or not. We don't really play it in this round. And I don't really remember a time I have, but they end up using that against us, and we use foot dragging, which makes them slower. Again, I go B. I silence Zephyr's footprints because she can go invisible, but if she's running, it can still be heard. And she gets an amazing shot on someone. She gets a second shot on someone else. And funny enough, you'll see right here, one of those Grim Reapers pops up because of Death's Embrace. So he actually ends up getting a kill from that. And another person who got wounded from the other Death's Embrace also takes damage with a second person dying from it. So they are still solely locked in that little area, right? That B main entrance area. And already 2 people are dead and one person has 75 health. And all 5 of us are still full health. So, well, besides Zephyr. But again, I still think that card's great. I think it's amazing. I think it helps so much. So funny enough, I actually didn't hear her. And I just reacted the second I saw the shot. Hopefully, I was going to sonar to slow them down, and then I was going to try to jump and try to do some bullets. We end up knowing there's one person left. We're unsure where they are. I end up trying to move over. And so here's another teaching lesson. Obviously, people are going to remember the sound cues. You're going to end up hearing them at least 100 times. So the second I hear this, I realize she's invisible. I don't know where she's invisible, but I know she is. I random shot fire, and I end up getting her down to 5 health. What I do not do is I do not stop shooting, which ends up me running out of a clip because I forget that they have oh, they don't have mini max. Then I completely run out of the clip here. This is all on me, right? So because of that, I move back, and exactly what I explained before, I am not hidden around a crate, which means I am perfectly out in the open, which means the second I run out of ammo and I go around, I just get destroyed. So that's another lesson of don't do that, right? Do not do that. Dino comes around. Dino gets MVP, and for good reasons. he cleans up on that perfectly. So that ends up being our first five. We do swap and transition, and it does get a little bit bad. This part, I'm going to cut it off just because I feel like I've talked through a lot. I've explained a lot. I don't want to make this too long. I'm going to hopefully keep doing these either card reviews or match reviews because I kind of want to explain people ways they can deal with certain cards, deal with certain Lancer abilities, uh, things to work on maps, especially the shard cards. I think the shard cards, the katana. I feel like the katana right now in the ranked I'm in, a lot of people don't realize that as long as you have any heavy LMG, you can just shoot the feet and you pretty much win. Or you can use Brooker and you can just bazooka them, or the utility bombs too. Again, those are all three options that I feel like I never see people do, and entire groups just get wiped out. And I'm like, how? How did that happen? But still, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please let me know. If there's any things you think I can improve, also let me know. I'm trying to fix these, clean these up. I want to, get better at it. So yeah, thank you for watching and have a good rest of your day. Bye.